Superman is coming out pretty soon. We've got more trailers, more promos coming out. That includes James Gunn coming out and just saying all sorts of things.
This is like literally the James Gunn show, and I'm not on board with that. I really want to see a lot more of David Corenswet. I think that he could probably sell this movie a lot better than what James Gunn is doing. I think James Gunn is actually harming the movie.
I think you're spot on. They really do need to get David Corenswet out there, and he's good looking. He could be a heartthrob. You see what Pedro Pascal's brand has done, and how the fangirls are just thirsting after him. That's the energy we need for Superman, and we're definitely not getting it. It's just James Gunn coming out and doing his posts and his interviews and making headlines for that. But that's really not what we need to focus on.
I gotta disagree with you on the Pedro Pascal thing. We don't want to go that direction. I think he's at the point where he's been overexposed, and we're seeing him in every single thing. But Corenswet, we've seen him in a few marketing things, but most of the time he's accompanied by the rest of the cast and James Gunn. It's just kind of crazy that James Gunn all of a sudden, now that he's the head or the co-head of the studio of DC, that he decided he wanted to do world marketing tours and all these features in magazines, and it's just weird. I actually watched a David Corenswet interview today. He seems like a nice I just really wish that they would use him like they should, since the movie is called Superman, to market it. I think that would help get more butts and seats. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those things that we find out later, why it went the way that it went. One of the problems that I have with some of the things that are coming out about the film is the truth, justice, and American way apparently is not being gone with. It's supposed to be truth, justice, and the human way. I think that's a loser. If you don't want to put the words in there, fine, don't do it. But if you're actually changing it to truth, justice, and the human way, no, I'm not on board with that. As a Superman fan.
Honestly, this is not the thing that's going to make or break the movie for me. I feel like, if it's such a big deal, then just take it out. I understand they have to be more modern and politically correct, but this is not the hill to die on. James Gunn has been out here saying lots of different controversial things. He made headlines recently for talking about Marvel and how, they kind of screwed themselves with when they had during COVID, they had to put out so many things. And I guess a lot of Marvel fans were giving backlash for that. But at the same time, just focus on your own thing. You don't need to come out and have this controversy about Marvel right now. You really need to focus on your own stuff.
I get him being petty about this whole thing. He did get fired by Marvel. His film has not come out yet. We've seen a lot of marketing, but in my opinion, the marketing hasn't been great. There's only been one actual ad that I was a fan of, and I still have problems with it. Some of the other things that we've heard, the hashtag super shit and the truth, justice, and the American way versus the human way thing. He's doing all this talking, but we haven't really seen the goods yet. I think he should stop talking so much. Back away from the phone, back away from the computer, back away from the interviews, quite frankly. I think we are getting way too much of James Gunn at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need more of the actors, but one article I forgot to pull up earlier, that we still have these actors kind of undermining this movie already. Rachel Brosnahan came out and said that actors should stand by their bad superhero movies when this movie hasn't even been released yet. That's not the message you want to send out right now. So there's just all this super shit going on.
Well, as far as Rachel Brosnahan's comments, I actually do agree with her on this. However, this might not be the best time to say it. It is crazy to hear about these celebs be like, my movie sucked. But, that's what you get paid to do. You get paid to show up. You get paid to perform in these movies and hopefully get some butts and seats. But the problem is, comic book movies are on the decline. Maybe a little less talking, more like actual marketing films without the head at the studio, under your dress all the time. I got to talk just a little bit about the last trailer.
It's not getting me any more excited, that's for sure.
People have some problems. Like some of those shots that they put in that trailer were bad, straight up bad. The one where he was flying at the end, at the close of the trailer, it didn't look good. And the whole punching the guy in his face and his teeth hitting the camera. I definitely have more hope for Superman than I do for Fantastic Four. At this point, I need to see more of David Corenswet. I really feel like he could sell this if they would just let him. It's not happening for some reason. I'm really questioning their logic with this.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe in this last, 2 weeks, they'll get him out there. I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make at this point.
We shall see. We both have tickets. I've got tickets to the fan event, so I'll be seeing it just a couple days earlier. So you'll definitely be hearing our thoughts on whether or not we felt like Superman is super.
Or if it's super shit.